Hey, it's Pete from Kong's Arrest, and it's new pin announcement day from Stern. Yes, it is the Uncanny X-Men, and Sentinel is out to get you. All right, so I've been avoiding a little bit of social media because I wanted to give my raw reactions to Stern Pinball's new Uncanny X-Men. I'm hanging out with my friend Sentinel here. I've been an X-Men fan since the 90s. I watched the original cartoon religiously in the Saturday morning cartoon days. And, I used to collect these comic book cards and everything too. And so X-Men holds a very special place in my heart. I know they've released versions of that pinball machine in the past, but I'm excited to see what they have. I already saw that Jack Danger is the designer. He's back working with Zombie Yeti. Charlie Benante is doing the music, which he did for John Wick. It's going to be awesome. So let's check out the trailer as well as the features video to see my first reactions. All right, here's the pinball trailer. It looks like this is the LE version of the machine. Oh my God, I already love the colors. Let's check it out. Ooh. Love the design so far in terms of the colors really popping. Really has that comic book-esque feel to it. Zombie Yeti artwork is always on point with his Foo Fighters that he did, and Venom artwork was never a question. Oh, there's a hand! That's really cool. Sentinel's hand is there. That's the first time I saw that. There's the bash toy for Sentinel's head. This is based off of Days of Future's past storyline too. So, oh my goodness, the whole playfield looks like it's a Sentinel. So there's the head that pops out. There's a left hand and a right hand. Nice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's a whole left section area with another flipper. Dang, that kind of reminds me of the Aliens pinball where there's a whole little left lane section, but there's a flipper there for you to be able to pop it out too. There's Jack playing the game so far. Nice, got the expression speaker lights in the back with the X. Very cool. There's to digest. Oh my God, there's so many things in this pinball machine that I'm really curious about. Let's watch the features video to see if we can learn more, and then afterwards I'll dive deep into the pictures themselves and give you my thoughts on the machine. Now here's the 5-minute features video that we'll walk through, and we'll listen to it, and I'll give my feedback as I'm hearing it for the first time.
Hello everybody, it's George Gomez at
George!
Stern Pinball. And before I reveal our new game, I want to tell you an X-Men story. When I was in the 5th grade, I used to hide my X-Men comics in my geography book. One day I got caught while reading the issue where the Juggernaut fought the X-Men. Fast forward to the 80s, and I was working at Midway Games and still reading the X-Men. The story that sticks in my mind is one of the greatest X-Men stories ever told.
Days of Future Past.
It's called The Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And that is the comic book that the new game is based on.
Nice.
Our heroes are trapped in a dismal future, and to reverse their fate, they must travel through time to change.
Oh, it's kind of like 3D animation.
I'm very happy to present
Interesting.
the Uncanny X-Men, brought to you by Jack Danger, Wei-Zhen Cheng, Kevin Koloje, a musical score by Charlie Benante, audio production by Jerry Thompson.
Oh, that's interesting artwork
course,
style.
Chuck
I'm not sure if I like it.
has created all original animations and video content for the game.
Okay.
The art is by Zombie Yeti, and it is truly a love letter to the epic Marvel illustrations that created the iconic X-Men franchise.
Yeah, I was liking the artwork colors.
Is a truly unique playfield layout. Jack has
But
created
that Sentinel animation looked really weird.
With surprising ball trajectories and results.
Oh.
Add to that a mechanically articulated Sentinel.
Sentinel's head is cool, but it looks kind of
The
weird.
bottom of the playfield is also truly unique, themed around the famous X-Men training facility, the Danger Room.
This is what Sentinel's head should look like. It looks kind of weird.
Of course, the game features a huge cast of X-Men: Wolverine, Magneto, Professor X, Storm, Colossus, Beast, Rogue, Gambit, Mystique, and all of your favorites. Stern Technology provides new ways to play with Insider
Oh, I like that they have a little launch
and now,
bar.
Jack will take you through the game. Have fun. Play the Uncanny X-Men.
All right, let's hear it, Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack Danger, designer of Stern's all-new The Uncanny X-Men. Growing up, I've always loved comics, and X-Men was the comic to have as a kid.
Absolutely.
And now that this is a pinball machine,
You're a 90s baby, Jack, I can tell.
I couldn't have been more excited to get started on this. Let's jump into my craziest layout yet with the features of the LE and Premium Edition.
Nice. All right, so head is still kind of poking out.
X-Men universe, the Sentinel. It's motorized, its chin breaks away, it even fights
Oh,
back with a
chin
kicking
breaks away,
cartridge.
but it doesn't eat the ball, or does it?
The Sentinel's hands are also featured on the playfield, destroying wire forms and knocking the ball off of its path of trajectory.
Sentinel hands.
Next, we have Beast Slab. This is an elevated captive ball very target.
Okay.
In the back, you will also see a custom sculpted Wolverine action figure having been thrown by Colossus in what is known as the Fastball Special. Also included in the LE is an interactive speaker expression lighting system with X-Men themed effects, which will also be available as an accessory. So let's talk about the layout of this game.
Add those X diffusers,
unlike
please.
Anything that I've seen before. I wanted cross shots, I wanted ramps that were backwards, I wanted targets you couldn't hit on purpose. Essentially, I wanted to make something that was weird, fun, and engaging. And what's an X-Men game without a danger room? Located to the left of the main
danger
flipper,
room. Okay, so that's the danger room.
Featuring a mini flipper, a ramp, an outlink spinner, and a whole lot of danger. Hit the extra
it's a ramp that goes
the
back to that
X-Mansion
lane.
ramp to make your way to the danger room.
Oh, crazy. Oh, that's unique.
Cerebro ball lock mechanism holds the ball to transition to the
magnet.
future.
Oh, that's badass.
The Midtown shot is a playfield elevated wire ramp that wraps around the back of the Sentinel's head.
Oh, that's cool.
Shoot the ball to Magneto's magnet,
More
which is
magnet.
capable of catching and throwing the ball with special ball effects.
That
Shoot the
that
right
sounds like it could
subway
be crazy
shot
though.
to feed the back panel ramp. Shoot for the double turnaround downtown ramp to watch a ball do something you haven't seen before.
That was there's so many things happening. I don't even know what's going
The
on.
highway ramp on the right features a diverter that can feed the ball to the left or right flipper. Stainless steel uptown left ramp with chrome wire form return.
This is looking like a really complex and deep game. When we talk about like
Kitty Pride sneak in shot.
kind of getting value for your pinball table, this playfield just looks full. Like
Now
every
let's
inch
take a
of the
look at the
playfield
Pro
was
Edition.
utilized. All right, let's look at the
Gamers will
stripped
experience
down
a lot
version.
of the same interactions and gameplay.
Okay, danger room still there, layout still there, Cerebro's there.
Custom
Sentinel head
sculpted
is just
destructible Sentinel head
permanently
bash
in
toy
up
with illuminated
position.
eyes.
Oh, but it's still an actual physical bash toy, so that's
Beast
nice.
Lab Leaper target.
Sentinel no eats ball. That will be the new thing this year. It's not eating the freaking ball.
Players can extend the fun with Stern's award-winning Insider Connected system by discovering mutants with Cerebro and using their mutant powers in online quests.
Mutant registration accepted.
It's okay.
So
Sentinel
go
eating
rally
a
the
ball
heroes of
doesn't
the
quite make
past to
sense
save the
anyways.
future in Stern Pinball and Marvel's all-new The Uncanny X-Men at sternpinball.com.
All right, that was a lot to look at. Let's dive a little bit deeper into everything. I mean, that was kind of a nice sneak peek of some of the features, but lots to uncover. Man, I'm excited to play this, honestly. I think the theme itself initially, really pops out. It's going to be really great with the mainstream audience to come up and walk to play this. It's a very attractive machine. But it looks very deep. It kind of reminds me of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles playfield where there's so much happening right now. You kind of don't know what to look at, but that could be fun. That's going to be fun to uncover what to do in the game with all the little different pockets and ramp shots there. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. All right, now that we've seen the trailers, let's dive a little bit into the different art packages available for the Pro, Premium, and LE. Starting off with the Pro, here it is. Right off the front, you have X-Men on the front there with Kitty Pryde, Wolverine, and Xavier. On the right side and left side of the playfield, just mirrored art with the team, coming out from the center. So very nice balanced artwork there. On the back box there, you can kind of see both halves of the teams. You got your X-Men on the right hand side battling the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. On the left hand side, you got Magneto, Mystique, Pyro, Toad, Juggernaut, as well as Sentinels fighting Cyclops and Nightcrawler. This is pretty a nice little balance between the two sides here in the back. The artwork is done by Jeremy Packer, aka Zombie Yeti. His art style is absolutely suited well for comic books. His colors pop on the screen, but there is something that's a little bit off to me. So for some reason, I had the same initial reaction when I looked at X-Men 97 for the first time. They just looked slightly off. Like, I don't know what it was. I guess I'm used to the 90s style animation from the TV show that I watched most religiously back in the 90s. So that's kind of the version of the comics that I had in my brain. So when I saw the smooth animation of X-Men 97 at first, I was like, I kind of don't know if I dig it. And this kind of has that same feel to it. It still looks gorgeous and everything, but for some reason, something looks a little bit off. Some of the proportions look a little bit different to me, but the colors look exactly the same. Some of the face shapes are a little bit unique takes on everything. I'll talk about the Sentinel head later on, but that's just me. Otherwise, it looks gorgeous, but for some reason, it's just a little bit off. I love X-Men 97 though. Freaking awesome show. All right, here's the premium version of the cabinet. So up front, you have some different characters as well. You got Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Xavier, Professor X. On the sides, you have mirrored sides of Wolverine and Gambit featured there with the shing. So you can definitely always hear the sound effects in comics when they add in the things. It kind of looks like swing when you first look at it, but no, it's the shings from his fist that are fighting the Sentinels. So if you're a Gambit fan, mon ami, this version of the cabinet might be the one for you. And then on the back side, you have Storm that's on the back box there on the sides. You kind of see double Storms. I'm not sure kind of why that is. But this is another kind of battle between the X-Men on the left versus the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants on the right-hand side, with Senator Kelly being targeted right in the middle there, which is a pretty cool touch. And then Colossus carrying that injured Kitty Pryde and that love affair in that dystopian future. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, the back box artwork between the two, I guess between the two, I think I kind of like the premium better. For me, it looks a little bit more balanced out there. Wolverine's looking kind of always featured in the front on both ones. He is definitely, I would say, one of the most popular X-Men characters, if not the most popular one. So if you're a big Wolvie fan, he's well represented in the pro and the premium there. So it's kind of nice and balanced. Like, I think I like the premium slightly better than the pro. All right, and here's the limited edition of the machine that is limited to 811 because that is Earth 811 is the timeline that the Days of Future Past takes place. So that's kind of a nice nod to the comics there. You got Mystique featured on the front, and then for the first time on the pins, you have two different artworks. On the left side, you got a dystopian Wolverine and Kate Pryde on the left side with the folks that have been slain and apprehended on the back. And on the other side, you have a young Kitty Pryde and Wolverine on this side. So this story is based off of the comic version of Days of Future Past, which sends Kate Pryde back to herself through a vision instead of physically traveling back in time like Bishop did in the animated series. So it's pretty cool that they're using the original story version of that. I don't know how many people have read the comic versus seeing the animated movie series, or even the movies that have been made for it. So they're using source material, which is nice. The LE version again also has the speaker lights, the expression lights there, and then the back box has mostly the team featured, with Colossus up front finally being your main character that's featured there, with Sentinels in the background, Magneto on the right side of the playfield, and then on the back side you have Sentinels that are just featured there as well. So bad guys on the back, X-Men on the front. So that's kind of a cool, you got your mirrored back glass going on with these LEs as well. I was trying to take a look and see if they had any Jack Danger-esque little hidden cameos on the back box like he did on Foo Fighters, or Elwin did on Godzilla, but I don't see him anywhere featured. So maybe there'll be other ways that he gets added into here. Other things here that I like about the LE, you got that nice purple chrome trim that is done on both the legs, the lockdown bar, and then the side rails. And you have the X-Men logo on the left side that it looks like it's been beaten up. I actually just noticed that the side rails, the guardrails are damaged on the left side, and then the other side it's all clean. Like, look at that detail. That's pretty freaking cool that the side rails are matching the clean version of the X-Men on the right, and then on the left hand side it's damaged because it's the future, like even all the way up through the entire thing. That's a pretty cool detail. I didn't even notice that. I would have loved, just like in Jaws though, like if they already have some of the accessories like the limited edition side rails available, as well as the expression speaker lights. I wish they would already kind of announce the plunger, if there's going to be a unique plunger accessory, so I think it would have been nice to see that already included like they did with the Jaws, with the barrel plunger. So LEs, again, limited to 811. That's a nice little placket there with expression lights, but that's a pretty cool feature. I think that's a nice touch for the LEs. All right, let's do a quick comparison of the pro versus the premium version of the game. I think that's something that everybody always likes to see, what's being stripped out of the game. And you can see visually looking at both of the playfields. Jack Danger, when he did his first version of the game, had an upper playfield. When Elwin did Jaws, he had an upper playfield for the premium. And those missing, when you have a whole upper playfield missing from a game, that completely changes the pro versus the premium version of the game. Like, you automatically feel like something big is missing. But when I first look at this, you kind of don't notice exactly what's missing. You actually have to dig a little bit deeper. You still got the Sentinel Bash Head toy. So on the premium version, it actually drops into the playfield. So on the pro, it's there permanently. But the biggest things that are missing are, looks like it's B slab in the back, and then the hands are not articulated. They're just acrylic. And so you're kind of missing some of the features of the hands dropping down, stopping the ball, and then the wire form being cut off there. But everything else in the playfield looks the same between the two. You still have wire forms completely across the entire thing. There's no plastic ramps like you did with, Star Wars Pro versus Premium, or like Mando Pro and Premium. Like, you don't lose the wire form ramps. You got both of them, crisscrossing like that X. Everything looks like it should be in place. It doesn't feel like something's missing. Like Venom Pro and Premium was drastically different because you got the mechs that look very different and the Pro looks stripped down. So this might be one of the ones where like a Pro could be a decent option, just like John Wick. So maybe they're trying to add value to the Pro these days, where it still feels like a good value, and the premiums, you're just getting those extra things there. Let's take a deeper look at the premium real fast. All right, so the premium version of the playfield, as we get closer and take a look at it, again, the Sentinel head pulls up out of the playfield as its main thing, and you got the Beast Lab bash area, where there's kind of this kinetic ball that's bashing a ball inside and kind of like going through each of the back areas to unlock, some of the modes there. You have a actual physical figurine of Wolverine in the back left corner, and then you have both of these hands. You have Sentinel hands coming out of the playfield, and Sentinel's hands are such a unique part of his character. So to have him included on the playfield with the hands, it makes it feel like Sentinel's actually underneath the playfield, like messing with your game. So I think that's pretty freaking cool to have the articulated hands. Like, when I first saw that there was hands, not just his head, that is badass in my opinion. Like, it really makes it like he's ginormous and you're just flying around attacking him and trying to survive and fight the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants too. So that's pretty freaking cool. Other things here as well. I think the Danger Room is exactly the same. So I think those might be the main features that are different between the premium and the pro. It's the hands. You don't get hands. You don't get a dropping Sentinel, and you don't get the back boss, and you don't get a Wolverine. Is that worth another $2,500? Whatever it is, the difference between the pro and the premium. I don't know. It's up to you. But I think the pro might be a decent value here. But let's see how the hands and the things actually change the game. I don't know if it's going to change the game that much. It might actually flow a little bit faster, not having different things mess you up and stop the ball. All right, let's take a closer look at that pro playfield again. So that back area, you have Beast Lab that is completely taken out with the balls at the top. So you're just kind of bashing it right there. You do have like a nice little Beast acrylic figure. So I could see on the pro, you can even upgrade that and maybe find a Beast figurine to put up there. You have some space for it. You have an acrylic version of Wolverine. So there's nothing there in the back box over there. Behind the Sentinel, I think that's the same image. So no other changes there. And then the hands are different now. These are just pieces of acrylic there, or even, I don't even think anything's there. I think that just might be part of the playfield. So there's no, hand on the right side or left side of the playfield, and so nothing that's going to stop it from coming up. And then on the right side, you do see kind of an acrylic hand popping up, but the wire form is just completely, I don't think it tips. I think the way this wire form works is the hand tips the wire form and it goes up and down. That allows you to access certain things. So it's just an acrylic hand that is there. So we'll see what else is different between the pro premium, but for now, pro might be a decent value for folks that are looking to save a little bit and not miss too much. You still got your second playfield, but the biggest thing I noticed about the playfield is that the flippers are off center. I think that's pretty cool. You have a whole Danger Room section over here. I've not seen that. That's pretty unique. I think there was a couple of games that I saw, that have a left section to kind of mess around with. I think I remember seeing, what was it? Aliens has a little section back there that you're trying to make it fall in between an area for a ball save, but can't remember which games have a left section to kind of play through. In my brain, I'm thinking like Wizard of Oz has something like that, but I can't remember. And finally, let's take a closer look at some of the details. We'll look at the LE version of the game, just so you know the biggest and most complete version of the game out there. First off, 811 limited edition versions out there because that's Earth 811. Kind of a nice nod to the comics. You got your expression lighting kits that's in the back that has the nice X logo. When you release the accessories, maybe consider including that X logo. Or I know it's probably going to be just for the LE people, but that's pretty simple for people to upgrade later on and find 3D printers that'll make that diffusion section with the X logo. You got Jack Danger's signature there for the limited edition, so he will be there. I wish it would have said like Jack Danger Room Danger, but it says Jack Dead Flip Danger right there, so that would have been fun. Maybe the Danger Room has some section there that has to do with Jack Danger. That would be fun. QR codes. Oh, the other thing that I like is the lockdown bar. There's a little graphic here that gives you some instructions about what to do with charging Bishop's energy lit when red and Cerebro on blue. So that's pretty cool that you're using the launch button to do something else in the game, using all the rich features. So that's nice. You got Cerebro in the back over there, as well as the magnets. There was magnets all over the playfield for Cerebro and in the middle of the field too. So that could be chaos. I mean, you kind of don't know what's going to happen, but it's kind of cool when stuff like that happens. Like, oh, what the heck? There's a magnet on the playfield. So that's really cool. You got the hands. Like I said, the articulated hands are freaking badass, and that section kind of lights up too. So that's cool. It drops down and you can see the ramp itself, the wire form is on a hinge, and so when the hand pops down, it kind of lifts it. Here's the close-up of Sentinel's head. This is one where actually I do have a little bit of an issue, that I think the proportions on Sentinel's head looks a little bit weird. Like, it looks a little bit more elongated than it should be. Like, if I even look at the Sentinel in the back of this playfield, I think it's maybe the same, but it looks elongated more than it should be. Like, here's an example of Sentinel's head that's from my Hasbro HasLab Sentinel figure, and this for me looks a little bit more proportioned to what I envision a Sentinel head to be. And I know there's many different versions of Sentinels over the years, so this might very well be exactly a replica of the Sentinel from the Days of Future Past comic. But for me, it kind of looks a little bit weird. I know the top of the head is supposed to be a bash toy, and then the mouth is supposed to open up, but hey, the mouth opens up and it doesn't eat the ball, so you're kind of bashing the inside of it. So that's kind of funny that it didn't do that. I know a lot of people are like, Sentinel no eats ball. I mean, that could be the biggest thing that people complain about. Like, who knows? Or maybe it does open up and we just didn't see it in the video featurette. It just kind of drops and you hit a target on the inside. But I think about it, does it make sense for Sentinel to be eating something? I don't think in any of the comics he's ever eaten anything. So it's just one of those things where, like, did it make sense? Probably not, but you can bash it to be able to like destroy it. Like, there's ways to destroy Sentinel, and bashing it in its mouth definitely works. But having it eat, so that could have been it. Maybe it eats the ball and then you destroy it, kind of like Circus Voltaire, or like any other good bash toy where you finally get it into the mouth and it explodes. Like, that kind of makes sense, that your final shot actually shoots into the Sentinel and makes it explode and then it drops back down. Missed opportunity. I hope it still opens up. I'm missing, maybe that's just a thing that maybe it's like Medieval Madness. So first you have to open the drawbridge, and then you have to bash the gate, and then you open it up. I'm hoping there's still a secret that they it drops the mouth, then it drops the inner part of the mouth, and then eventually it goes inside. Who knows? I don't know. That would be freaking cool if it eventually does. Okay, so other things, there's a danger room on the left hand of the flipper. There's a spinner. There's a little loop that makes it go back into the playfield as well. Again, the head, it looks a little bit weird. I have all these versions of Sentinel heads that feel way more proportioned than that one. It just looks weird. I don't know. It's just me. There's the back of the dystopian future there. You got the left or upside of the playfield that has the right hand of the Sentinel. So those hands featuring very nice articulation. It looks like they could almost move on their own, but they kind of do. Again, there's the head in the lowered state, so you are bashing the head to make it drop up. There's Beast Slab in the back. He's doing some experiments and things there. So, ooh, I like how the eyes are like poking out. You can kind of see it, and they're trying to show you here, what the head looks like in the playfield, and it's dropping. That looks silly there, and then you can see what happens. There is Wolverine. There's a close-up on the figurine. Oh, his claws look a little bit messed up though, for a featured video, it would have been nice if his claws were straight. They look like a little bit messed up here, so I can kind of see Wolverine kind of looks cool there, but maybe maybe there's a better version of a Wolverine figure that can be put out there. You know, you never know. But you know, it looks pretty decent. The molding looks okay, so it's not too bad. And here's the hand that's crashing down on that wire form, again, changing the direction of the ball. It's either locking it there or dropping it back into the playfield. So I'm curious to see a little bit more about how that acts and interacts. So that's the right-hand side of the playfield with the left hand. And then on the right hand, you got a little finger that says, no, I'm gonna pick your ball up and stop your ball. So that can be interesting to see what happens when that happens in the game. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh no, Sentinel stopped me from doing something. So that can be a kind of a fun little trip. And then as you guys have seen in the LE version of the game, there are art blades here. So it's pretty cool that on the left side of the playfield, you have artwork that features the future Wolverine and Kate Pryde. And on the right hand side of the playfield, you have artwork that is kind of like the past versions of the X-Men there, if I can find some good shots. So yeah, here on the right side of the playfield, you can see the art blades featuring, the current state of the X-Men with Storm and Professor X and Kitty Pryde. And on the other side of the playfield, you have the dystopian future version of the X-Men there with Wolverine, Cyclops, I guess still shooting stuff, and then Kate Pryde in the back there. So kind of, current and past, kind of following the themes on both sides of the artwork. So that's kind of a cool touch that they did with the art blades. So final thoughts on Stern Pinball's Uncanny X-Men. This, for me, is a pretty cool release in my opinion, because I'm such a huge X-Men fan from the 90s. Like, I love the animated series. I didn't read all the comics growing up, and I know this is kind of based off of the 1980s comic of Days of Future Past, but I know that original story in general, very well from seeing it across the different medias that story has been portrayed. So I'm curious to play this version of the game and experience Days of Future Past through the Uncanny X-Men. It is something that I could potentially see myself owning in the future. I think it's something that could be worth having in your home collection. If you don't have any Marvel pins right now, which I don't have any, there's a ton of Marvel options out there. X-Men is actually definitely one of my top tier comics that have such nostalgia. Growing up, superheroes like X-Men were the go-to superheroes. Like the Avengers and Captain America and Iron Man, like they were dorks. Like nobody wanted to hang out with the Avengers back in the 90s. You wanted to be an X-Men, you wanted to be Wolverine and do all those things. And so for me, this is a nice resurgence of, this past year, X-Men 97 being huge and loving that series. This Uncanny X-Men is just kind of building on top of that X-Men craze and nostalgia from the 90s coming back. And this is a little bit of 80s, 90s feel to it with the artwork style. It's a little bit different, like I said. You got to just get used to Zombie Yeti's art. He's a fantastic artist. I love the design of it. I just got to get used to it. You have your artist that you remember what you envision, and then you get some new stuff. So I can grow to appreciate it. But yeah, if it was up to me, I might find a way down the road to bring this into the house. Who knows? But I'll probably be playing it at Hermosa Brewing Company as soon as they get one. I'm sure Scott Ramsey is going to get one. So hopefully you'll let me play it. So you'll get an LE. I love the LE has the different, versions of the side rails. That's a pretty cool feature that's unique to the LEs there. But I'm just excited for new pinball. There's been a lot this year. There was Jaws, and then there was John Wick, and then there was this. I can't wait for it to get into the field for us to be able to play it. So hopefully you enjoyed this content. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.